bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here.
So to do this project, you're going to need 2 balls of Caron Simply Soft in the colors that you choose. Both balls are exactly the same, it's just that this one was open before. I have bone and I have taupe color. You also need a 5mm crochet hook, and if you like the help of a crochet marker, you can have one of these too. So the taupe color is going to be my color A, and the bone color is going to be my color B. So let's start. So for round 1, you are going to pick your yarn A, and we're going to chain 2. Chain 2, and then for still round 1, we're going to do 6 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, which would turn out to be the first one we made. So we're going to do 6 single crochet in that one. Then we can tighten up the yarn, and we're going to join in the beginning single crochet. See the first one here, first V? This is where we're going to join. Like this. Try to be more in the middle. For round 2, still with our chain, with our color A, we're going to chain 3. If you want to use your crochet, your stitch marker, this is where you would attach it. So this first chain 3 does count as your first double crochet. Now we're going to do 2 double crochet in that same space, the same space that we did our chain 3. That would count as 3 double crochet. Now we're going to do 3 double crochet in every stitch around.
Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
And that will give you a total of 18 double crochet, and you do have to count the first one. So the first 3 we did, and then we give you a total of 18 double crochet. Now for chain, before we start round 3, we're going to join, but we have to change our color to color B. So where my stitch marker is, that's where we're going to join. So right in the stitch marker. After that, you can remove the stitch marker, and you will grab your yarn and pull through. You don't pull through the both, you just wait here like this, and you grab your color B put it on your hook and pull through the both loops on hook. Now we're going to pull all our yarn a little bit from the back, and that's how we change our color. At this point, we can turn it around. We're going to grab the yarn we just introduced with our color A and do a little knot in the back just to keep everything nice and tight. Don't pull too much because you don't want to lose stitches, but just a little nice this, and that's going to keep everything in place. And now we're ready to continue with round 3. For round 3, now that we've got our new color in place, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put our stitch marker here, and we are going to do 2 single crochet in that same stitch. Two single crochet in that same first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet each. Now again 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and 1 single crochet for the next 2 stitches. We are going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 24 single crochet. So the next stitch will have 2 single crochet in that stitch, and then 1 1, and then again 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 1. So just continue this around till the last stitch. And here I am at the end. I've reached the end of this round, and if we count the stitches, you should have 24 single crochet. So we're going to join where our stitch marker is. In that same stitch, I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to join in that stitch, like so. And for round 4, still in that same colored yarn, we are going to do chain 3 and put our stitch marker back. After our chain 3, we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch, or your first stitch that you see. So 2 double crochet in that same stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the 2 next stitches. So 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet. And then again 2 double crochet in the same stitch. And then 1 double crochet in the next, and then 1 double crochet in the next. And that is the pattern that we are going to repeat all the way around. So 2 double crochet in the same stitch, then 1 and 1. We're going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end you should have 33 double crochet. So the last 2 stitches, when you reach the end, you are going to do the last 2 stitches should be 2 double crochet in the same stitch in order for you to have your 33 double crochet. So I'm at 31, and it was 2 double crochet in the same stitch, and then my next stitch I'm going to do 2 again for 32 and 33, and that brings us to the end of round 4. And we are going to join in the stitch where we have our stitch marker. join here with a slip stitch, and we can remove our stitch marker here. And we are ready to start. Oh yeah, no. Since we have to change our color for round 5, when we join, I'm just going to undo this. So when we join, we're going to use the same technique that we did when we joined the first time. So you enter your crochet in that stitch where you want to join. You bring your yarn, and now you have two loops on your crochet hook. You're going to go in the back of your work, grab yarn A, and just bring it up and pass it through. We don't cut the yarn in between the changes, we just bring it up. And then yeah, you have to just pull on your yarn a little bit in the back, make everything nice and tight, not too tight, just so it's not too loose. And now we are ready to start with round 5 with our new color. So with our new color at round 5 with color A, we're going to chain 3, 2, 3, and we are going to miss the next stitch. So the next stitch is the first one that we would usually crochet in. We're going to miss this one, and we're going to do a front post double crochet in the first post right after it. So okay, I'm going to try to, this is the first stitch, we're going to skip that, we're going to turn our work, and this is the front post, and we're going to do a double crochet around this post. So you just do your how you would do a double crochet. You yarn over, bring your hook, pull up your yarn, and it's the same as a double crochet, except it's around the post. And then we are going to go back to the first post, and we're going to do a double crochet around this post now. So now we skipped the first stitch, now we did this post, now we're going backwards, and we're going to do a double crochet around the first post. Like this. Now we're going to right behind our first post that we did. Now we're not going to do the post, we're going to go on the stitch. So you've used this post right here. Now we're going to go behind on the top stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet on this stitch behind. So now you've got like a sort of a little cross here with the 2 posts, and now we just did a double crochet on the top of the chain. So now that gives us, again, because we are going to use every double crochet on this row. So this post right here, the double crochet, we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go to the next one beside it. So you're going to do a double crochet around this post, a front post double crochet. And now the post that we missed, the double crochet we missed, we're going to go back and do a front post double crochet around that one. And again, the top stitch right behind the post, so this one right here, we're going to do a double crochet in that one. So now you can see that we have 2 double crochet around these posts. We've got one in the back around the top. Then we've got 2 double crochet around these posts, and then we've got one in the back right here. And you repeat that same process all the way around. Okay, so I've reached the end of my row. I have 49 double crochet, counting the first chain 3 that we did. So we're going to join at the top of this first chain 3, and this completes our round 5. With the same color, we are going to chain 3. We'll put the chain marker, the stitch marker again. Oh, I always want to say chain marker. And now we are going to do, we're going to be using the regular stitches on top like we would normally do. So we're not doing post stitches, we're doing the regular stitch. And we're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch around, and you should have 49 double crochet. So 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 in each stitch around. So I have reached the end of this row, so the end of row 6, and I have 49 double crochet. So we're going to join, because we're going to change color at this point. So we are going to join at the stitch marker, but we're not going to complete the join. We are going to get our yarn A, color A, and finish the join with this color. I'm going to remove the marker, pull everything tight, and we now have our new color, and we're ready for row 7. So for round 7, we are going to do the front post double crochet that we did earlier. A little different, but pretty much the same. So you're going to skip the first stitch, the first post, and you go to the one next to that, and you do a front post double crochet. And you go back to the post that you missed, and you do a front post double crochet to that one as well. Now we are not doing a top stitch right away like we did on the first row, because these are for increase, and we're not increasing right away. So we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So you skip the next post and do a front post double crochet in the one after. Come back to the post you missed, front post double crochet around that one, and then repeat that again. So you skip one, front post double crochet to the next, come back on the one we missed, and front post double crochet. So now we are going to do our increase and do our double crochet on the top stitch right behind the post, and that creates an increase. Now again, we're going to skip the next post and go to the next, do a front post double crochet, and come back and do a front post double crochet. And we're going to do that twice. and we are going to do one double crochet on the top stitch, and we're going to repeat that again. So we miss one, we go to the next and do a front post double crochet, and then come back to the one we missed, front post double crochet, and do that 2 times. So we skip one, we go to the next, and after we've done it twice, we do our top stitch, double crochet in the top stitch as an increase, and I am going to remove my stitch marker because it keeps hitting the table. And now we're going to start over right from the beginning. So we are going to skip one, go to the next, and we're going to do that 3 times. Once you've completed the three groups that we just did, you are going to do 1 double crochet on the top stitch as an increase. Now we're going to repeat that 2 times. So you skip one and you go to the next. That's a first group. And we do that twice. And now we do a double crochet on the top stitch as an increase. And we're going to repeat that once more. So we're going to do our groups twice. So we skip one, go to the next, and then come back to the one we missed. So that's 1 group. We do that again. And once we've done it, we've got 2 groups. We do 1 double crochet on the top stitch for an increase. We're halfway done this round. So now we're going to repeat the same pattern. So we start with our first group, and we're going to do it 3 times. So you skip the first one, first post, front post double crochet. That's group number 1, and we are going to repeat it 2 more times. Once we've done our 3 groups, we're going to do a double crochet in the top stitch to create an increase. And now we're going to repeat again, and we're going to do 2 groups. So you skip one, skip the first post, do a front post double crochet, come back to the one you missed, and then do that again, front post double crochet, come back to the post you missed, and that gives us 2 groups. And now we're going to do a double crochet on the top stitch to create a an increase, and we're going to repeat that again. So 2 groups,
It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors.
and then now that we've done our 2 groups, we're going to do a double crochet on the top stitch to create an increase. Now that we're getting close to the end, we have 8 stitches left. Now we're going to do one group. We're going to do it twice. Again, so you skip the first one, go to the next one. So that's one group. Oh. And again, second group. And we're going to do one double crochet behind. And we are going to repeat that again. Skip one right here. That's one, and we're going to do that twice. And we're going to do, okay, so that stitch is going to be a little bit hard to find on the back because now we're at the beginning. So that back stitch to the top is just a little bit more difficult to go get. And now we're at the end of this row. All we have to do is join. And that completes row 7. And you should have 63 stitches. We are now at row 8, and we are going to chain 3. Put your stitch marker if you need to. And we are going to do a double crochet in each stitch around on the top stitch, the regular top stitch, not the post, starting with the same stitch that we just did, chain 3. So we're just going to do double crochet all the way around for a total of 63 double crochet. So I have completed, I'm at the end of round 8, and for some reason I did not have 63 double crochet. I ended up with 62. So what I did is I just added one at the end of my row. So I put 2 double crochet in one of my rows at the end because I did not want to restart. It's not going to matter as long as I have 63 stitches. Oops. So on this row, for row 9, we are going to change color. So we're going to join where our stitch marker is. You grab your yarn once and then you change color and you complete the join with the second color. I should have removed my stitch marker. Now you're ready to continue with the new color. So for row 9, we're going to chain 3. Row 9 is a row of front post double crochet, but it's much easier because there's no increase, so it will be front post double crochet in groups of 2 all the way around. So what I mean by a group is that you will, like we usually do, skip the first post, go to the second one beside that, and do a front post double crochet. Come back to the one you missed, do a front post double crochet into that one, and you completed a group. So to the next one, you are going to miss the next post, do a front post double crochet around the second one, come back to the one you missed, do a front post double crochet around the one you missed. You now have 2 groups completed. So we're just going to do groups of 2 like that all the way around, right up to the last stitch. That's for row 9. So just continue with the same repeat. So skip 1, front post double crochet in the next, come back to the one you missed. So I've reached the end of my row. I will just join with a slip stitch right where my stitch marker was, and we are ready for row 10. So for round 10, we will start with chain 3. 2, 3. We will put our stitch marker, and we will be doing 1 double crochet on the top part of the stitch, not around the post. So 1 double crochet in every stitch around for a total of 63 double crochet. And we start in that same stitch of the chain 3. So we start our double crochet in that stitch, and we just do 1 double crochet all the way around. I'm at the end of round 10, and we are going to join with a slip stitch and also change color for this row. I'm going to remove my stitch marker first. It just makes it easier. I'm pulling on all my little yarn. Make sure my stitch is nice and tight. It's not too loose. And we are ready to start with round 11. So for round 11, we're going to a chain 3. You can put back your stitch marker. And I'm just going to fix my yarn. In row 11, it will be the front post double crochet in groups, like we've done before. So you skip the first one, the first double crochet from the previous row. You skip that one and you go into the next one and you do a front post double crochet. Then you go back to the one you skipped. Actually, the one you skip is always the one that is the chain 3 from the previous row. So that is considered the first one that I skipped. I'm going back to that one and doing a front post double crochet in that one. There is also no increase in this row, so it will always be a repetition of those 2 stitches. You skip one, you go to the next one, you do your front post double crochet, and oops, let me redo that. You skip one, you go to the next one, you do your front post double crochet, and then you come back to the one you skipped and you do your front post double crochet. And those 2 stitches you just repeat all the way around for a total of 63 front post double crochet.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back.
So I'm at the end of the row, and we just join with a slip stitch. We are not changing color. You can remove your stitch marker, and we are ready to start round 12, and starting with chain 3. You can place back your stitch marker if you need to. In round 12, with same color, will be 1 double crochet all the way around in every stitch on the top part, not the post. So 1 double crochet all the way around, starting with the first one, the same one, for a total of 63 double crochet. So I am at the end of row 12, and that's now we need to switch color. So we are going to slip stitch, well, half a slip stitch into that stitch with the stitch marker, bring our yarn, and then switch color and bring it through the both loops. Just make everything a little bit tighter in the back, and we're ready to start with row 13. So you will chain 3, put back your stitch marker, so this row is a row of front post double crochet. So we are going to skip this first chain 3 from the previous row, and we are going to do a front post double crochet in the second one. Then we come back and do a front post double crochet on the one we skipped, and we are going to repeat that all the way around. Skip the next one and do a front post double crochet in the next stitch, come back and do a front post double crochet to the stitch that you skipped, and repeat. So I've reached the end of row 13, and we are going to slip stitch and just remove the stitch marker, and we start row 14 with chain 3. In row 14 is a row of double crochet all the way around. So the double crochet is on the top part, top stitch, regular normal stitch that we would usually do, not in the front post. So double crochet all the way around for a total of 63 stitches. Okay, so row 14 is complete. So we join with the slip stitch and we change color. And we start with a chain 3. And we are going to, this row is front post double crochet. So you skip one and you start in the second one, and then you come back to do a front post double crochet in the stitch in the double crochet that you missed. And we repeat this all the way around for a total of 63 stitches. At the end of the row, we join the slip stitch. And to do row 16, starting with chain 3, row 16 is a double crochet all the way around for a total of 63 double crochet. At the end of row 16, we join with a slip stitch and we change color. And we do chain 3. Row 17 is a row of front post double crochet in every post. So you skip the first one, you start on the second, and then you come back and do front post double crochet to the one you missed. The same as we did in the previous rows, and we will repeat all the way around. So at the end of the row, same process, we will join with a slip stitch. And we will start row, which row? We will start row 18 with chain 3. And row 18 is a row of double crochet on top, at the top part. So row 18 is a row of double crochet on the top stitch all the way around. It's the end of row 18. We are going to join with a slip stitch and change color. So you grab your new color from the back and bring it up. We will chain 3, and I believe these two last rows, these will be the two last rows with this color. So this row, row 19, is a row of front post double crochet. Skip the first one and front post double crochet in the second one. Come back to the first that you missed and front post double crochet in that one. And repeat. So I've reached the end of row 19. I've already joined with the slip stitch, and row 20 is chain 3, and row 20 is a row of double crochet all the way around on the top stitch. So I've reached the end of row 20 with 63 double crochet. So now we are going to join and change color. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker. We're going to join and change color, so we grab our color from the back and pull through. Make everything nice and tight. And at this point, we are no longer going to be using color B. We're done. So if you want to cut and just secure, you can do that now. I'm going to do it on my next row. And at this point, your hat should measure or be close to 7 inches. So it's I'm not 7 inches, but pretty close. So for row 21, we will start with a single crochet. I'm gonna put back my stitch marker. And we will do 19 single crochet, starting with the same stitch that we just did our chain 1. And we continue with for a total of 19 single crochet. Once you've reached 19 single crochet, so next stitch is a single crochet 2 together, and we continue with for a total of 19 single crochet. Once you've reached 19 single crochet, so next stitch is a single crochet 2 together, and the rest of the stitches are going to be single crochet in every stitch all the way around to the end. And we should have 61 single crochet. Okay, so I'm at the end of row 21. So I will join with a slip stitch. And chain 1 for the next round. So the next 3 rounds are going to be the same. So we will start with the chain 1, and then starting with the first stitch that we just chained 1, we will do 1 single crochet all the way around, and then at the end of the row we join with a slip stitch and start again with the chain 1. And we will do that 3 times for the next 3 rows. And I will meet you here after I'm completed with my 3 rows of single crochet. So I've completed the 3 rows of single crochet, and I joined at the end removed my stitch marker, and when I measured, it gives me around 7.5 inches long, and I would rather be closer to 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra row of single crochet all the way around and see where this brings me. So to do the extra row, I'm just going to chain 1 and just repeat what I've done for the last 3 rows. And I might have to do 1 more or 2 more. I'm unsure. So I'm going to just try it with 1 to start with and see if it brings me closer to the 8-inch mark that I'm looking for. So I've completed my extra row, and now I'm very close to 8 inches, and that's pretty much good for me. So I had to add 2 extra rows for that. 2 extra rows that the pattern did not ask. So the hat is complete. Looks really nice. And now I'm going to cut my yarn and just make sure that I hide the ends from the inside, and we will be working on the pom-pom next. So now you will need a yarn needle. So I have my yarn needle, and just before I hide my end, I will make sure, just make a little simple knot like this so that nothing comes apart. Pull on this little knot here. You won't be able to see it, and everything's going to be secure. Now all you need to do is hide the yarn inside those stitches. This one is done. Now we'll go to the next one here. In this one, we're going to give it a nice finishing touch so that it looks like a stitch. So for this yarn here, for this end, we are going to just pass the yarn on the stitch on the opposite side, and then the stitch right above it, we're going to pass our needle through both, and it's going to look like if it was a stitch. Now all we need to do is bring the yarn back to the inside of the hat. Oops. This, and this gives it a really nice finish. It's going to look like a stitch. And now from the inside, you can create a knot and hide your ends. And voila, nice edge, nice finish. Got this, and really nice little hat. So for the pom-pom, there's many videos online and many ways to do a pom-pom. I'm using a very simple way.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell